Mechanics 24 Golf, Barcelona Center, identified.
So, we rejoin us now. We are...
Mechanics 24 Golf, Barcelona Center, expect LORE1 Papa, runway 24 left.
Let's just take care of this radio call. Expect LORE1 Papa for runway 24 left, Chenix 24 Golf. So, we are 19 miles short of descent. We can see Barcelona on the nose there, and just underneath that cloud, you probably can't make out terribly well, but that was the very tail of the Pyrenees. So what we'll do, we'll start making some plans now. So in our departure arrival, we've been told that we're going to expect 24 left, and it's the LORE1P arrival. I'm just going to pause the head tracking for a moment. This is where we come down here. And we'll say we are going to transition at pause. We'll execute that. Okay, so let's get a little brief for our Dave here. It's arriving by a star. It's an ILS approach, going to go for landing flaps 30. Buoys are on, runway is dry, auto brake 2 is what we're going to fancy. We're going to go to a gate. We are okay for APU on that basis. If I bring up the charts here, we can start to fill in some of this information. We'll get our descent any minute anyway.
Mechanics 24 Golf, LORE1 Papa, runway 24 left. Report ready for descent.
We're quite ready for descent, Chenix 24 Golf.
Mechanics 24 Golf, descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1021.
Descend to 5,000 feet, Chenix 24 Golf.
So, down to 5,000, which you've got in the box there. So, we'll go to descend now for that. And we're going to have a pressure of 1021, which is in the box already. Took that from the weather earlier on. So back to what we're doing with the charts. Let's the risk of making the computer crawl. Let's bring all this up here. So, plugged everything into that. We'll get our chart up here. Our minimum altitude is 50, so we'll put that in here. Mins wind that down to 50, as you can see here. So that's great. We'll enter that into our little summary here. Missed approach altitude. Sorry, I have to keep flicking between the two things. Missed approach 3,000. So we'll enter that into, again, our summary box, 3,000. Final altitude for the altitude for the final approach fix, can't speak today, 2,500. Landing runway ID is 24 left. We're going to go runway range 7.5, and the ID is IPAL. Okay, so let's run that brief.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival routing will be via the ATC assigned star, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. For an ILS approach, planning a flaps 30 landing, and the final approach fixed altitude is 2,500 feet. Decision altitude is 50 feet. Missed approach altitude is 3,000 feet. The taxi routine will be as assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at a gate. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set, and airport no terms have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No questions.
Approach brief complete.
Okay, so I'll take back control.
I have control.
You have control.
Do the descent checklist.
Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization.
Landing altitude 0 set.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Approach, briefing and fuel.
Discussed.
Indicated airspeed and altimeter box.
BREF 128. Minimums 50 feet. Checked and set.
Descent checklist completed.
Okay.
Seat belts on.
Okay, so while we were chatting there, Dave has put the auto brake onto auto brake 2. As you can see here, with our latest stuff, auto brake 2 brings us a stopping distance of about 6,000 feet, so that's plenty. We'll not put auto brake 3 on. I don't think there's any warranted need for that. We'll just slow down a little bit more gradually. So as I say, auto brake 2 has been selected, which is grand. Our elevation is 30 feet, so that's cool in terms of landing elevation. We won't worry about that now too much. We have our expected pressure down at the arrival airfield. We've got our minimums in there. Our speeds have been put in there, which is lovely. Just check again. We have ILS Yankee for 24 left, and the LORE1P arrival with a transition at POS. All good. To the legs page. So all that we're doing now is we're doing a descent now. Lead some altitude off. Descend towards Puerto Polenta, then take 2 sort of right turns. Line ourselves up with 24 left. Again, taking from the charts, our final approach course is 237, so we'll set that into the MCP. And we'll make that mirrored over here. Okay. Come down to our nav boxes, and we're looking for 109.3. Oops. So 1093. 1093. Okay. And up here now you can see that we've got our frequency for the ILS. We've got our final approach course, and we're waiting for the DME to eventually populate there. That'll let us know how far we are from the from the runway. So not a lot to see out the window. A few little clouds dotted around. There's a bank of weather over on the nose in the distance, but nothing untoward. Everything's cooking nicely. Weather, let's have a look. The wind is from essentially the runway, right down the runway, which is lovely, at 8 knots. It's a little bit overcast. Nothing to worry about really. 22 degrees. Everything's a-okay, so nothing too exciting to report there. On our progress page, it tells us that we expect to land with 3 tons of fuel. Sorry, 2.7 tons of fuel. We currently have 3, and everything's balanced out, as you can see, between the left and the right wing tanks. Engines have come back to very sort of low thrust, just allowing us to descend. We're on profile, as you can see. All well and good. So everything is looking rosy. We were projected for 2 hours 7 airtime on this particular flight. We've currently racked up just short of 1 hour 50, and our projection is to be in at 14:31, so 20 minutes. So yeah, probably about 2 minutes late, but hey, we'll take that. It's been absolutely perfect weather for flying. We haven't had any lumps and bumps of any note. So yeah, it's been a nice little troll down today. Just looking through everything, yeah, making sure everything's as it ought to be. We mustn't forget at 10,000 feet we do our 10 checks, our descent 10 checks, so stick the lights on, etc. Come off guard frequency, all that kind of fun stuff. And then yeah, let's have a good look at the arrival. I'll bring it up on screen for you. Again, don't like doing this because it tends to put more strain on the computer, and goodness knows this old girl's creaking and groaning. You can see there with the big massive stutters. It doesn't like it while it loads it all in, but hey, you need to know what's going on, I guess. So here indeed we are. We're just coming up to LORES, which will be the start of our arrival. Again, very simple. It's just one straight line, as you can see, the green section here. Our constraints are speed constraints, essentially. Palma will dial that into the first officer's side for now. 1164. And you can see there that we are 40.5 miles away from Point Polenta. Again, the profile is all logged in, so we're hitting that quite nicely. This is our turn onto the star heading. Everything's good. Everything's good. So there's obviously some elevation here to be aware of. That's all good. Just having a look for any weird and wonderfuls. And on our approach, again, you can see here, this is the start of our approach as such. Final descent. So if we miss, just carry out over the coast, and we'll take a left turn. Once we're over a mile and a shade from Palma, intercept 212 degree radial from the NDB. Climb to 3000 and speak to ATC about organising our go round. But hopefully we won't need that today. That is the plan anyway. So yeah, I think we can see what we're doing there. We're going to have some hopefully some nice views of the island. There's the landmass, the headland that we are going to cross onto the coast, and then we're going to do our right turn across the heart of the island and get finally intercept our final approach fix. So we're some 22 miles now from waypoint POS. See, there's weather over the island, but nothing to write home about. Just have a look there. Yeah. Should be a nice approach and round off what's been a rather serene, uneventful flight. He says, just jinxing the entire kit and caboodle.
Channel 24 Golf. Contact Palma approach 128.35.
Contact Palma approach 128.35. Channel 24 Golf.
Just start seeing
Palma.
a bit more
Channel 24
detail
Golf.
there on
Flight
the
level 136
elevation
information November.
of the island.
Channel 24 Golf Palma approach, good day. QNH 1021, expect the ILS Yankee runway 24 left with the Polenta VOR transition.
QNH 1021, expect
Perfect.
the ILS Yankee runway 2 for left with the Polenta VOR transition. Channel 2 for Golf.
No changes to our planned approach.
Channel 24 Golf, cleared direct Polenta VOR, cross Polenta VOR at or above 5,000 feet, cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left.
Excellent.
Cleared direct Polenta VOR. Cross Polenta VOR at or above 5,000 feet. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 2 for left, Channel 2 for Golf.
Okay, well, seeing as we're cleared all the way through, we'll put into the box our final cleared altitude, which is the top of interception in the ILS. We are little touch fast, so we'll just pop out the speed brakes just to get ourselves down to about the 240 that we're aiming for. Bring in the range now. You can see what we're doing a little bit better. Drag it out there. Want to drive a ship into that.
Altimeters.
There's 10,000, so let's do our 10 checks.
Descending, flight level 100. 10 checks.
10 checks. Cabin crew 10 minutes to landing. Fuel 4. Pumps on. Lights. Angle of bank. Air conditioning and pressurization 3.5. Fasten belts. Recall 121.50 deselected.
Thursday being useful. Sandy, he's doing all the gizmos and the bells and the whistles. He's a good lad. We'll give him a good report at the end of the day. So, yeah. All's well there. Here comes our first of our 2 right turns.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our destination shortly. If you're making a connecting flight, please see the customer service agent meeting this flight or the video monitors inside the terminal for connecting gate information. For your continued safety, flight attendants will now walk through the cabin to secure it for landing. We'll collect any off-service items, newspapers and any other items that you wish to discard or may not be taking off the aircraft with you.
Nice day in Mallorca.
Also, in preparation for landing, please turn off all electronic devices. Stow these devices within the carrier.
You'll notice there's a green light above the displays. That's just to say that the speed brake is armed. So when I stood the speed brakes a moment ago, I just put them in the arm position in readiness for landing. So we've got 9 miles to run to get to Batham, and at that point we'll just before that we'll start to decelerate, so we'll start taking a little bit of flaps, etc., just to slow ourselves down, get ahead of the game. Don't want to get the situation where the aircraft is in front of us rather than us in front of it. Excuse me. Yeah. Like a fool.
Take QNH 102.
Didn't change the altimeter from standard to local pressure. So the computer's just getting us to intercept that. We're 50 feet off it. As you can see here, we're going to get back onto track quite nicely. Blame it on the cold. Start to see some of the results down there. That's Caripika 4, whatever that is, not been there. So we can take our first notch of flaps.
Flaps 1.
Speed checked.
Let's tune our radios back up to our ILS's. Checked. We'll
Flaps
call
1.
frisk.
Cabin crew cease for landing.
Frisk.
Frequencies 109.30. Rings runway 24 left 10 miles. Idents India Papa Alpha Lima and India Papa Alpha Lima. Standby instruments set. Courses 237 and 237. Frisk complete.
Right, so I just put a fix here, fix ring, for 7.5 miles. And you can see all the elevated land off to the right there, so yeah, stay away from that if and when a go around is required. Go back to our legs page now. Need to be slightly slowing down, so let's go for flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Speed checked.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters and instruments.
Set and cross check.
Approach aids. Flaps 5.
Checked and set.
Approach checklist completed.
So everything's good. We'll have our localizer interception mode on. Just out there, I think you just start to see the beginning of the runway in the airfield.
One to go.
Check.
We'll take gear down on flaps 15.
Gear down. Speed checked. Flaps 15.
Chanex 2 for Golf, contact Palma Tower 122.1.
Over to Tower
Landing checklist to
122.1,
flaps.
Chanex 2 for
Landing
Golf.
checklist to flaps. Start switches.
Palma Tower, Chanex 2 for Golf,
Continuous.
ILS Yankee
Recall.
Runway 2 for left.
Checked.
Chanex 2 for
Speed
Golf,
brake.
Palma Tower
On.
1230 at 8,
Green
runway
light.
24 left,
Landing
clear to
gear.
land.
Down 3 green.
Auto
Runway
brake.
2 for left, clear to land. Chanex 2 for Golf.
2. Set.
Holding at flaps.
Flaps 30.
Speed checked. Flaps 30.
Complete the checklist.
Flaps.
30. 30. Green light.
Holding at landing lights.
Complete the checklist.
Landing lights.
On.
Landing checklist completed.
So we're all configured, just losing a little bit of speed now. It's the final approach speed.
1,000.
A little stutter there, just what you don't need, but hopefully that's the end of that. We are by the radar about 900 feet above the ground. At this point, we'll take control. I think.
Manual flight.
Take out the auto thrust. Add a little bit of power there. drop below the glide slope. So power. Wind's pushing us off to the left. Corrected for that. Now I'm going to drop on the power. Intercept that glide slope again.
500.
Drop
500
short
feet.
again.
Checked.
There's a little bit variable now. Never mind. Back on track here.
400. Too low, terrain. 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 10.
Speed brake not up.
Manual braking.
Auto brake disarmed. No reverses. knots.
Checked.
80 knots.
Checked.
60 knots.
Checked.
Chanix 24 Golf. Exit right at Hotel 7.
Exit right at Hotel 7, Chanix 2 for Golf.
Chanix 24 Golf. Contact ground 121.905 Bye-bye.
Ground 121.905, Chanix 2 for Golf.
Chanix 24 Golf, request taxi to any available gate.
Chanix 24 Golf, welcome to Palma de Mallorca Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
We require assignment, please, for Chanix 24 Golf.
Chanix 24 Golf, say again gate number.
Let's have a see. We'll go for that one.
Request gate Alpha 20, Chanix 2 for Golf.
Chanix 24 Golf, gate Alpha 20 taxi via Soba, South, Link, Foxtrot, Lima Foxtrot, Lima Echo.
Gate Alpha 20 taxi via Souther, South, Link, Foxtrot, Lima Foxtrot, Lima Echo, Chanix 2 for Golf.
We'll get the follow me, and we'll cross-check it with what Beyond ACC is asking for as well. There's the follow me car. He's going to do a very sharp turn. Sort of frustrated Formula 1 driver. There he is. Okay, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and the entire crew, we'd like to welcome you to our destination. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, leaving all items of hand luggage safely stowed until the seatbelt signs have been switched off. Before you leave the aircraft, please ensure you have all your personal items and hand luggage with you. Please be careful when opening overhead lockers, as items may fall out, causing injury. We'd like to remind you that smoking is not permitted until you've reached a designated smoking area. If you require assistance when you leave the aircraft, please contact a member of our ground staff. If you're connecting to another flight today and hold a boarding card and transfer wallet advising you of your departure terminal, please follow the signs to flight connections. This will lead you on to your departure terminal, and please check your gate number in the departure lounge. To avoid missing your onward flight, we strongly recommend that you go straight to your departure
Spanish
terminal.
standoff.
For those of you who do not have a boarding card, please go directly to the Flight Connections desk. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire airline, thank you very much for choosing to fly with us today, and we hope to see you again in the near future.
Ah well,
Thank
this is what happens when your ATC only controls you and not the AI. So, brace, 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 crunch, immersion, love it.
APU on the buses.
Cheers, Dave. Oh goodness me. Where are we going?
Three minutes.
Well, if you wanted a tour of Mallorca Airport, you're copping for one. Oh, more tired of this taxi than I am with the flight. There we are. Arrived. Parks up. Everybody can get off. Marvellous. There you go. Right, off for a lemsip and a lie down. Thanks all. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.